Hello and welcome to Food Friday. This week we are going to be making vegetable chips and barbecued chicken dip. There is a recipe also that you could make it a buffalo chicken dip, but our family prefers the barbecue flavor, so we're going to make the barbecue dip. It's a great, easy recipe that will give you your full lean and green meal if you are on program. But if you're not on program, it is just a great, healthy recipe. So we have our ingredients laid out that we're going to go over. So the first thing we have is our canned chicken breast. Now I chose the 12.5 ounce can. You could get 2 of the smaller cans if you prefer, but you need about 12.5 ounces of that. Also, you're going to need the fat-free Greek yogurt, and we're going to need 1.5 cups. We also have the Colby Jack and Monterey cheese. And then you also need 4 of the triangled spreadable cheese. Whatever flavor you decide to get is fine. Then we have our yellow squash. We have our zucchini, salt, pepper, rosemary, sugar-free barbecue sauce. Make sure it is sugar-free. Our light ranch dressing, olive oil, and lemon juice. Those are the ingredients we're going to use for this recipe. Okay, now we are going to mix together the ingredients that we are going to coat the vegetables in. But before I do that, I'm going to set the oven at 400 degrees. And now I'm going to use a larger bowl because we're going to have to mix up all of the vegetables into the sauce that we are going to make. So I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of the extra virgin olive oil, 2 teaspoons of the lemon juice, half a teaspoon of rosemary, and salt and pepper. Now we're going to whisk it together. I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to slice both the zucchini and the squash into thin slices so that whenever we bake it, it gets nice and crisp. We need about 3 cups of both of these, so it may take more than 1 zucchini or squash depending on the size that you get. Now that we have them all sliced, I'm going to put them in the bowl with the sauce that we already made. I'm going to lay out parchment paper on my baking sheet and spray it lightly with Pam. And then I'm going to lay out the squash and the zucchini so that it is not stacked on top of each other, so it will get nice and crisp. Now that I have it all put in the bowl, I am going to put a lid on it, and we are going to shake it up so that it gets coated really well. I'm going to lay out the parchment paper. I'm going to spray it with the olive oil. Now I'm going to lay it out on the parchment paper. After you have laid them out, we're going to put them in the oven for about 30 minutes so that they get nice and crisp like a chip. The last thing we need to make is our barbecue chicken dip. So I'm going to mix all of the ingredients in a bowl, mix it up really well, put it in a lightly greased or sprayed baking pan, and then I'm going to bake that after the zucchini and the squash is finished cooking. Or baking, I should say. So I'm going to mix all the ingredients really well and then add it to the pan. this all mixed together. I am going to add it to the baking dish. You don't need a very large one, so I'm going to use the 8x8 that I have. I'm going to spray it with the Pam and add it into the pan. I'm going to leave it on the stove though until we get the vegetable chips completely done. All right, I have taken the chips out. They are nice and crunchy. And I'm going to add the dip into the oven. We need to let it stay in there between 20 and 30 minutes until it is a golden brown and bubbly on the top. And there is our lean and green recipe for this week. It is the vegetable chips with the barbecue chicken dip. And if you wanted to make it a buffalo chicken dip, you could use the hot sauce instead of the barbecue sauce. This is a great full lean and green recipe if you are on program, but if you're not, it is just a healthy recipe that most people would enjoy. If you would like to know more about the program, I would love to explain it to you and help you get to your health goals. All of the recipes so far that we have done, you can find on my YouTube page, which is called Total Health. I would love it if you would like, subscribe, and share whenever you go there, and also sharing this on Facebook would be awesome. When you do try the recipe, I would love to hear your thoughts on it or any recipes that you would like to see in the future. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I also look forward to cooking for you and seeing you next weekend. Have a great Friday.